So what did we have for lunch then?
We had BLTs.
What does that stand for, Marcus?
I think it's, what is it again? Bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
Tomatoes.
Very good.
Danke, danke, danke.
So people are just getting on live. I don't know how many people we have now. Are we up to 20 yet, Alex?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, why not? Well, so why don't we introduce ourselves? We'll start with our eminence Grease.
Well, I'm supposed to introduce myself as, my name is James Norwood Pratt.
Well, who could do a better job than you?
And so please accept this introduction. You can believe that that is indeed my name. And I write about tea. I've been doing this for 50 years. I started when nobody else was writing about tea or knew anything about it. That was because there wasn't any tea before Harney and Sons.
Well, it's very kind of you. More. What else?
Well, what else?
As far as introduction.
Well, we should let Marcus introduce
Well, I'm the
himself.
youngster. I'm number 3 in the row.
No, you're next.
No,
I am
I'm
the
next.
host.
Okay, you're the host. Yes, my name is Marcus Wulf. I'm
Reverend Wulf.
Formerly known as Reverend Wulf, because obviously I was too stiff in the first speeches 20 years ago or 30 years ago. I'm a tea trader from Hamburg, Germany, and I'm supplying quite a large amount of teas to Harney and Sons since about 1992.
So, and then I'm Mike Harney. I'm honored to welcome this. My brother Paul, whose cup is here, says he has to go to what, gymnastics with his daughter, as I understand. Is that true, John? Just say yes.
He said he didn't know what he had to do, but he had to do something.
Okay, so that's so we are here at Harney and Sons. We've been honored to work with both these gents for many decades, and to prove that, we have a letter here. Can I have that letter there?
Yes, please.
This is a letter. What's the story about this letter, Norwood? I'll read it.
This is the reply to the phone call that I put in after I was finally able to locate the phone number for this tiny company in Connecticut. And so I get a reply in the mail. It's fine, not from the man who started Serum Tea, as it was then called, but from the man who succeeded him.
What was his name?
Stanley Mason was his name.
And what about the gent?
Afterwards. And he was able, at his wife's insistence, to leave the tea trade only because he had found a worthy successor, who was the man who was selling most of the tea that Mr. Mason produced. It was John Harney, who was the local publican. He was the runner. He ran the White Hart Inn, and most of Serum Tea was retailed from their gift shop. And,
that's true.
And so I think Mr. Mason could not have found anybody else who would be interested in buying this tiny tea company, but John Harney was a man of vision.
Well, you know, the thing that I found most interesting, well, the thing was this letter, John, says it's from the Serum Tea Company, and it was the New England Country Store, which is what you were mentioning, at the White Hart Inn in the Village Green of Salisbury, Connecticut. And back then we had not come up with CT, it was actually spelled out Connecticut. And then 06068, they had come up with zip codes at least by then.
Well, now this is ancient history.
Yes, Alex, you had something?
Yeah, hold on one second. I do believe that it was CONN, right?
Well, it's spelled out here, Connecticut. The thing that's also I found interesting is it wasn't Norwood Pratt on Green Street in San Francisco. It was Norwood Pratt. He was on President Street in Greenwood, Mississippi.
Yes, something had come over me, and I woke up one day and discovered I was sober and living in Mississippi, and that went on for some years. Fortunately, I have 2 sons as a result, but the Mississippi experience is best forgotten.
Excellent. Well, we're going to forget about it. So we're going to taste some teas. Most of them are from Taiwan. Our old friend Thomas Hsu, we were talking about him earlier today.
Yes, right. he was the member of the first family of Taiwan tea who came to America, and there he was promoting Taiwan tea to a country that was ignorant of tea, and especially of oolong tea, which Taiwan is justly famous for.
Paul, you want in? You coming in?
Ah, Tegan is over there.
Well. And we are soon to be joined by the very eminent and esteemed Paul Harney.
And Tegan.
And Tegan.
Tegan.
And Tegan's here.
Hello, Tegan.
You coming in?
Don't get sidetracked.
Now,
All right. So we were talking about, we did find Norwood's letter, Paul, of 1982. Actually, it was your father's letter. And he did sign the way I remembered him signing it, Marcus. That signature. Maybe we could just focus on that while Paul gets mic'd up. And we have to create room for him, so we're going to have to widen the screen a little bit.
Wolf, what are you doing? You're going to hold that there?
Forever. Done?
now,
You coming on the other side or this side? Coming behind us?
No?
allow me to say that this exchange of this letter that I received was the beginning of a long and lasting friendship.
I'm on the edge.
Which is extended now from,
okay.
From Papa John, my original Harney friend, to the sons. When he first told me he was changing the name of the company, he had already changed it from Serum Tea to Harney Tea, and now he says it'll be Harney and Sons. And by this time, he and I were good friends, and I said, but John, you have no sons in the business with you. He said, just wait. John was a man of faith, and here are the sons to prove it.
Right.
Well said. Well said. Norm.
So we were just talking about the Alisan, which that's down in the southern part. I don't know if you ever been there in the southern
I've
part.
never been to Alisan.
That is one of the prettiest spots. It's actually a natural park national park too, inside of there. So it gets a lot of tourists that go down there for the visit. But it takes a long time to get down there, right, Marcus?
Yeah, it's a long drive, and well, it's sometimes a little crowded with tourists, but still you find nice spots where they make great raw-rolled oolong.
We went down there with
George Shoe.
George.
Another shoe. I think he's not relative to the ABC shoe.
left shoe or the right shoe?
No, that's the left and the right shoe, because my father was already trading with George Shoe's father. So, and he has unfortunately not convinced any of his sons to join the business, but he promised me the moment he retires, his son will further continue the business, which we all hope.
Yes. So that's the Alisan, which is a high mountain tea, a Gaoshan, right?
And one of Taiwan's proudest products.
Yes.
But it's not that easy to find because, well, it's not that big a mountain. And I forget what Ali means.
Alibaba.
Well,
That's what Paul.
we don't
Remember
need,
Alibaba, Paul?
And the 40 robberies. So.
we don't need in this country to know what Ali means. Shan or San, means mountain, and that was the tallest mountain that the Japanese had ever seen when they came from Japan and took over Taiwan in 1895.
That's true.
And they had always claimed that Mount Fuji was the tallest mountain in the world. And so when the Japanese discovered this taller mountain in the island to the south, they just they named it in Japanese, another tall mountain. But they were referring to this place that this tea grows. And tea like this grows nowhere else.
Well, it's impressive because I also spoke to the mainland Chinese and said that the Lisan mountain is roughly 4,000 meters high, whatever that is in feet. And they said, no, Taiwan doesn't have that high mountains. I said, yes, no, there is a mountain close to 4,000 meters. It's a small island, but it has a lot of high mountains.
Well, can you tell us about the Lisan over there?
Yeah, what about that?
Well, about the Lisan is, of course, a little more high-grown even than the Alisan. So the lowest grown of the high-grown is a Dongti, some say. And then the Alisan is the second highest, and the highest mountain is a Lisan. And due to the altitude, of course, it's a much shorter period where the tea leaves can grow and be produced. So it's a little bit more finer, thinner than a typical artisan, but can have very beautiful high notes, but not so creamy, I would say. The Lisan is not getting so creamy like the lower grounds, but it's one of the very, very finest oolongs for afternoon from my point of view.
Now, I stand here between two of the world's greatest tasters, so you may take as gospel what they describe as the taste of this tea. All of
Paul's
it.
going to have the GABA.
The GABA.
What?
GABA, you want to talk to us about GABA, Paul, here?
What?
Well, you're an expert in that area.
I am.
Well, the
Here we go. Give it
What?
to him.
I'm not drinking that. I'm drinking the Lisan.
Well, but you have to hurry up. So, we're going to have some GABA oolong, which we were reading about a little bit, what it stands for.
Yes, if
Can you take it?
I can take it, but I don't want to really burn my fingers.
Why?
It's okay. Well, the GABA, of course, is one of the very healthiest oolongs.
Aren't they all healthy?
Because of the production, the withering process is done with as little possible oxygen as possible to increase the amount of the GABA, which is correctly pronounced as amino acids, blah blah blah, to make your
Gamma.
to make your
Amino
make your brain
acid.
function a little better.
Yeah.
How's yours function?
I have not been drinking enough GABA,
No,
but
it's
more
delicious.
More
It's
beer, more
a
beer and
delicious
more
tea.
beer and wine maybe, so my brain doesn't work so well.
Well, that was well said, Paul.
See?
Paul, when's the first time you met Marcus?
When is the first time I met Marcus? Let's say I was a young man. I was, let's see. So I think Marcus was here with his young children when I just came. I think it was the first tea conference, maybe second tea conference.
Second or something.
Second.
Interlaken or before?
You were staying at the Interlaken, I believe.
we
Okay,
have
so
a-
like third or fourth, yeah.
Third or fourth.
Something, yeah. I
So-
remember
so, yeah.
you have been in some sort of southern real estate business, active, and before you have been in the army, captain, Somalia,
Something like that.
Haiti, everything. Huh?
Nothing
D-Day.
much, Wolf, nothing much. But thank you, thank you for all those kind words.
Thank you.
But Captain, you never had to fire a shot in
That's
anger.
right. That's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Well, that's good news.
But then
I followed my father in that regard.
That's- you
and
did.
then,
Yes.
and then we did our first trip to India.
Yes.
That was an interesting one. And, well, you have been very much, let's say, inventive with the company. Have you changed the directions to very, let's say, new areas where nobody has even thought about. And, of course, technique was always your baby, and you liked the machineries, the teabagging, the fuso machines. And
That's
so.
it. That's it. I have to go see Franco right after this because one of our babies is not working.
Is it?
Yes.
Is
Well,
it,
now-
Our Italian baby is not.
the E22. Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
C24.
C24? Okay.
C24E.
C24E. I'm not so familiar with all these packing units here.
Yes.
I know what to put in there, but not what.
That's well, you know a lot. Come on. I mean, none of us know as much as Pratt though.
Well, now that's not true any longer. At one time, I knew more than anybody about tea, but that was because nobody
knew anything about
knew anything in this country, at least.
Yes.
We did have German friends that we could learn from.
Yes.
But in this country, no, there wasn't anybody. And there hadn't been a book on the subject that took tea seriously in 50 years.
Since you
And what was your first book?
It was called The Tea Lover's Treasure.
And that's still a great book, right?
It was.
no, that's not it.
That's not it.
Oh, the tea-level reading. Oh, I'm
Jeez
sorry.
Louise.
Jesus.
But,
Jesus.
but anyway,
You know, that is still the required reading for all Harney
here.
and Sons.
well, that is. I'm proud to say that book that
Just
I
keeps
first
going.
wrote
He doesn't even want to hold it.
is credited with sparking the tea renaissance in this country.
Yes.
Where we had no decent tea. It was all commodity tea, all packaged in tea bags, and all tasting the same. It was an anonymous brown liquid to which you added sugar and
White stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Milk.
Milk. Or
back
a
when we
milk
just
there
drank
wasn't even a milk substitute back then, was there?
No.
You couldn't even find a milk
You
substitute.
see how old I have grown.
Yes.
But I have grown in service to tea, let me say. And nobody has done greater service to tea than my friends that I'm with at this moment. So we have been together now for 40-some years,
Yes,
off
yes,
and on.
Yes.
And we love it.
There we go.
Well, that's I think the most unique part about tea, right? Is once you delve into it, it goes on in all different areas.
That's right. And what a rewarding thing it is to take up. You never discover all the taste it has to offer.
Yeah.
And you have to get it takes a very quiet palate to really appreciate the difference between one mountain in Taiwan and the next.
Does it require stillness?
Stillness is something I've taken up lately when I run out of things to say.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well,
speaking of,
this is no time for stillness.
so this tea we're having is the fanciest Formosa Oolong. I know that you started drinking it even before me.
Yes. At the time, that was what we considered oolong to be. We didn't, in this country, have anything except the fancy Formosa Oolong, which I fell in love with, as you will too. All you have to do is pour a cup, and you don't even have to bend forward to get the aroma. The aroma rises up to meet you.
Who introduced you to it?
A great tea taster named Michael Spillane, who at the time was the leading American importer of fine teas, not commodity teas,
Right.
that belonged in tea bags.
And where was he located?
He was outside of San Francisco.
There you go. See?
And I was living in San Francisco, and I had written a book about wine. It was, in fact, the first book about wine in California. And so,
This is what a leading edge type of guy you're listening to right now.
well,
Right?
That's right. And so
Tip of the spear right there.
I had some experience of tasting, and it was Mike Spillane who began teaching me about tea, and it was with him that I had this tea for the first time, and I've never forgotten it, nor have I ever found a tea that I love more. There are now a great many teas that I love
Is that possible?
as much.
That's possible?
Well,
Yeah, this is a tea. You've not found another tea that you loved more?
From Taiwan.
There are teas.
No.
There are now teas that I love as much.
Oh.
There are now teas that I love as much.
This one's sentimental.
Well, I am sentimental. I'm even attached to the first teas that I wanted John Harney to blend.
And what would they be?
Well, the one that I am proudest of was when John got the chance to blend a tea to be served in the Plaza Hotel at their famous Palm Court.
Oh, we were just having some of that today.
And so the Palm Court blend, John and I would talk about how to make a unique tea. And he thought he had it just where he wanted it. And I said, John, please add some Formosa Oolong, as we called it.
See, he's the reason, Marcus. Troublemaker.
Yes.
Well, he did.
Don't be
what-
telling all the
he-
secrets.
He took my advice, and you still put a Formosa Oolong in the Palm Court blend.
Yes.
We were just making it today. We were talking about it, weren't we, Marcus?
It
Oh, well,
rounds
I
everything up.
I didn't know the recipe. I only knew that we had to improve again on the Formosa Oolong, on the Palm Court blend.
Well, because
So
Weather is tough.
We are having a little raffle. Norwood suggests that we give away a tin or two of the fanciest Formosa Oolong, which is right there, John. And if you send it to Michael at Harney Teas, I will go through it. We also have another special thing coming on, but Michael at HarneyTeas.com for that. So,
There will be a lucky winner.
indeed.
only one?
and there'll
Only
be a
one?
lucky one.
How many? How many winners?
How many do you give away?
I'll give a couple. You can help me choose.
Well, all right.
What do you think the right number is, Pratt?
Let's make it 4.
There you go.
Well, what street? What was your street address on Green Street?
It was 828.
Yeah.
And that was
That's too many.
There's such a
Well, that's 8 divided by 2 is 4, so that's perfect.
all right. There you go.
Times 8 is 8. All right. So, Alex, do we have any questions?
Yeah, let's move on to a little bit more of a interactive show, part of the show. We have Whitney on Facebook is very happy that she's watching, or they are watching us record live. Can you explain the difference between everyday matcha and culinary matcha? Would the culinary matcha be good for matcha lattes, drinks, or just cooking?
Well, the culinary one is definitely a summer matcha, and it's not an organic matcha. So the everyday matcha is a better matcha than the culinary matcha. They both can be used in lattes. They both can be cooked with.
They're both very good matchas, though.
They are.
I think we should start there. Let's not
Right.
kid ourselves. Delicious.
However, there are matchas that are better than most.
Well said.
But the organic everyday matcha is a particularly good matcha at that price point and that volume.
What do you mean
Alex?
volume? What kind of volume are you talking about?
Well, it's 11,
Volume
not
in
10.
the cup?
It's 11, not 10.
Okay, all right.
Well, it's personal, of course, who wants to spend what for the matcha every day. Huh? I mean, if they want to spend.
Well, that's why it's called everyday.
yeah.
See?
If you want to spend
We led right into that.
much more money, you can drink any matcha any day. Huh?
My grandchildren just.
Well, no, you should
Ziggy.
spend as much on matcha as you can afford, in my opinion.
That is true.
That's
Matcha
right.
cannot be good enough. And if it's only giving color because
Yes.
you need it for making
Yes.
cakes, then it's of course probably not the matcha you
Kate
want.
is here, not cake.
Cakes. Hello, Casey. Katie. No, then it's of course not the right matcha to drink. Huh?
That's true.
That's much about matcha.
Okay.
Alex, another question?
Well, just to follow up on Whitney there, they say, thank you. I'm glad I got the 1 pound everyday matcha.
See?
Excellent.
Good.
Das ist gut, Marcus, right?
Das ist sehr gut.
Very good.
All right, this is a fun one for us all. Patrick on YouTube says, truly enjoy the cinnamon flavor tea. Is it considered a real tea?
Marcus?
Well, I don't really probably are the right person to answer, but I know there is tea inside, but there is also cinnamon. Of course, cinnamon is not considered to be a tea from the bush community.
But it's a delicious tea.
But it's of course tea plus cinnamon and other recipes.
So is it really a tea?
There is tea inside.
So just say yes.
Yes, but it's not 100%.
Nobody, he didn't ask you if it was 100%.
No, it's not. But it's
Yes.
tea. Yes, there's
Well,
tea inside.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And we all thank you for it.
That's our best seller, and we appreciate it. We make so much to keep up with you. We appreciate it.
Yep. It is a delicious tea.
And one of America's favorites.
Yes. Well,
Yes.
cinnamon's great for you too. So
My second daughter is truly in love with cinnamon. I always take many packages back to Germany for her.
Why can't you
It's got
just
a
buy
lot
it?
of fans, and they like to drink it a lot. So, as a tea man, that's a great product.
That is true.
All right.
Alex, another question?
Yeah. John on YouTube says, how many combined years of tea experience are we looking at right now?
37 for me. You said 50.
50 some for me.
Okay, Marcus? Somebody has to do the
I'm
math.
trying to calculate that.
It's not that hard. It
It's-
can't be that hard.
It is hard. Yeah. It's 40, close to 40.
You're writing this down?
I'm 82 to India.
So how many years? 82 years?
82 years, yes, correctly. I'm much older than Norwood, as you can
Can
see.
you just tell us the answer?
Well, it's close to. It's around 40. maybe.
40.
Yeah.
So 40, 37, 50. John, you doing the math? All right, Paul?
I don't know. I don't have any experience.
No.
27, 28, 29, something like that.
All right, so make it 29, John. So we have to figure out how many years. Did you add that up?
156.
Huh? 156?
156.
156.
There you go. There might even be some information in there. Right?
Some
In that 156 years, there's got to be something.
156 years.
Well, you can't go through 156 years and learn nothing.
No, well, that's true.
It is
But
possible.
You could get close.
But vice versa, you cannot be 165 years in tea and know everything.
Well, nobody knows all about tea. That's
That's the
truth.
facts.
That's right. And it keeps changing, and especially now, because the plant itself is changing with the climate change. and other factors. So
Many other
there-
factors.
So there are always new things to discover that surprise you.
Time for a new book.
Well, somebody else
be.
will have to write it, Paul.
Marcus can write it.
I will
You
never.
could just speak it.
Unless my kids are throwing me out of the company, I have nothing to do, I will probably not start to write a book.
No?
Well, he's over there, so maybe he will throw you out.
50%, the other one has to decide else.
All right. Al,
I
we
have
got
some
any more
more-
questions?
Yeah, Shashwami on Instagram says, "Do you know?" Oh, sorry, it's hard to read from here. Do you know that an oolong will be good when you taste it, or when do they get better with age, like wine?
Marcus?
Well, it depends very much on the make of the oolong. You can have oolongs which are getting better with time, but these are normally the Chinese style, a little higher oxidized, a little higher roasted teas, which really improve with the time.
But what about couldn't it get better with each brew?
That's another story.
Well, I'm here to help you.
Let me first finish.
Why should we
If they automatically get better with age, I would say no, because a fresh tea always is the enemy of a little, let's say, mature tea in most of the cases, depending on the process of
Is that
production.
what they say about you?
Not particularly.
You're mature?
If you're talking about the brewing, of course, there can be the multiple brewing of the same tea leaves. They can definitely improve the cups, depending on, again, the process of making the tea. When you make a very green and a light tea, it doesn't get automatically better. But when you have a little bit more matured, more oxidized tea, they definitely get better with the amount of brewing, but it's not unlimited.
Now,
Well, it's 7 though. Wolf.
It
Lucky
depends,
7.
It depends really very
I know
much
it
on
depends.
it depends
Doesn't depend
on,
on
the
anything, Wolf.
Yeah,
Come on.
It does depend on each tea.
You think?
Yeah.
All right.
the Chinese had a saying that the first steeping of an oolong is the sweetest, the second steeping the strongest, the third steeping is the most long-lasting aftertaste, and it goes on from there. But the Chinese had a method of steeping oolong teas, which they loved, and called the gong fu method, where you would steep that leaf at least 6 or 7 times. So that's how much good there is in that leaf, and not to be discarded after one steeping, please.
What's the proper temperature to be brewing this these fine oolongs at, Pratt?
Well, it would be less than boiling.
Well said.
But more than frozen.
Well, it should be warmer than the perfect temperature for green tea, which should be around 180 Fahrenheit, and so it should be around 200 degrees.
Okay.
205, 200. something
Okay.
like that.
All right.
Now, I have this other book up here of yours, Norwood. I don't know if you remember it. It's green.
Tea dictionary.
Oh, the tea dictionary. Oh, yes. This has been the standard reference of the international industry for a while. I keep seeing.
Since publication.
Well, I keep seeing
Not
it.
before.
I keep seeing it quoted, so I know that it has been of use to people in the business.
I use it all the time.
So that's very flattering.
Thank you.
And it was.
I need all the help I can get.
It was.
Can I get some of the dong ding?
Gong ding.
It was thanks to my friendship with leading tea people, not only in this country, but elsewhere, like Marcus.
Marcus helped you?
Marcus helped me enormously. Of course, I've learned it for every 10 minutes I've been with you. I found out more things than
You
I
learned 11
than
things.
I knew.
You're too nice to me. You can say the truth.
You see the trouble I've had with these guys? And this has been going on for decades.
That's how it is.
Huh.
So, look,
Now we're moving to dong ding.
oh, yes, that was the mountain
No more questions?
in Taiwan where oolong was first grown.
Right. Frozen Peaks.
Yes.
Tong ting. All right, Alex said there was another question or two.
Well, a couple follow-ups.
Follow-ups. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
They already know too much.
Shamui, if I'm saying that right, asked if you prefer Chinese or Taiwanese oolongs.
Is that a political question?
No, it's not. From the regions.
Okay.
Well,
They both are great, right? Tea Kuan Yin, we have some Tea Kuan Yin here. They're great. They originated it. The Taiwanese, they made certain improvements, and now the Chinese themselves are making certain improvements.
But there are regions in China, like the Wui Mountains, that produce varietals of tea plant and certain oolongs that cannot be equaled anywhere else. Again, it's a question of the region that it comes from. So this Wui, from which the English, they couldn't pronounce the Chinese, they called it Bohe. And whenever you run across that expression, now long out of date, Bohe means oolong teas. Those were the first oolongs in Europe.
And earlier today, you had some of the Milan, which is not in Italy, right?
No.
That was the Milan down from the Fenghuang area in northern Guangdong, southern China.
Oh, yes.
That was the peachy one that we had earlier, right?
Yeah.
See?
Well, of course, the Taiwanese did not start the Taiwanese oolong production out of nothing, and they came, of course, knowledge-wise from mainland China. So yes, they are related, and they have now gone in little different directions.
Did you remember the first trip we took to Fenghuang?
Yes.
We had to go up, and they built the road right in front of us.
No, it was sliding down. They had to rebuild it, I think.
Oh, rebuild it.
Yeah, it was coming down.
It was they had to rebuild it, and we
Yeah.
had to wait there for a couple hours.
That was not,
And then we had to have frogs for dinner, right?
yes, frogs and crispy bee larves.
Oh yes,
Yeah, wonderful.
yes. Alex, another question?
Well, yeah, and it kind of plays into what we're talking about here. JB, a bunch of numbers on Instagram, said Norwood was in the wine industry for a bit as well.
True.
Does he find many similarities in the soil affecting the tea leaves like grapes? Is a Chardonnay from Chablis, i.e. a Chardonnay from Chablis, taste different due to soil? Do we find that in tea as well?
It is very true, tea and wine alike. The Chinese always said that there are three factors in tea: earth, sky, and the human factor. And earth is everything below the surface of the soil, and heaven is everything above the surface of the soil, the climate, the rainfall, everything else. And of course, the human factor, the plucking, the manufacturing, the packing. So all of these things determine the taste of the tea, but the taste begins on the plant that grows in that earth. And so does the taste of wine. It begins with the plant, with the...
So does that answer the question? What's the next question?
All right, next question. What is blue tea? Is that a French thing?
Oh, that's what the French tried to call oolong, because when you look at a greenish oolong tea, which will often be rolled into balls, it will often have a bluish tinge to it. And because you have all these teas that are called by names, like white tea and green tea and black tea, and so the French just wanted to make it uniform. We'll call the oolong blue tea. Now, that's how I explain it.
That's a true statement. In fact, you know, the tea of the year in our catalog is True Blue Oolong.
All right.
Oh, yes?
Yes, sir.
Well,
didn't know.
you've never not sent me any.
Well, I mean, it's just coming out. We'll have to get you a tin. I believe it's on the website. John, right? Yes, sir. Okay, another question? We did lose my brother, Paul, so we can slide over just a little bit.
We slide over.
Paul
Right.
has his daughter here, so he had to go be fatherly, I guess.
It seems we do have some of Norwood's friends on the internet here.
That's good.
Richard Nichols.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Norwood. Good to see you. Should tea always be drunk without milk? Richard from Norwich, currently next door to your house.
Richard, greetings. Listen, tea should always be drunk without milk. But that's only if you're interested in the taste of the tea. And there are places where you need to conceal the taste of the tea, and anything you can add might help. I would put anything I could find in most tea bags to cover up the lack of taste.
But what is Valerie, your beautiful wife, saying to that statement coming from United
Well,
Kingdom?
now, my English wife will put milk in her black tea
First or second?
in the morning if it is certain black teas, like from Yunnan in China or from Assam in India. But
Dad went downstairs.
But other black teas, no. Valerie,
Bye, Tegan.
But is it first milk or first tea? Valerie.
You
First,
want to get the first milk of the tea of the day.
no, first milk or first
Oh,
tea?
I thought it was the first milk from the cows. Well, why don't we move on to the next question?
Yeah, I think we're good for now.
No more questions?
Oh, okay, sorry. If you do want some questions, I'll give you some questions.
Well, I mean, we're down to the part of the time where we're overtime, and so people that are asking questions want the answers.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, first off, just a shout out to True Blue Oolong. Jennifer Albers on Instagram says, "I
Oh,
love
yes.
Blue Oolong," but no one.
It's a flavored oolong, so it's the devil's work shop. Could I have a little of the traditional tea?
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Here's a fun one for you guys. JTM Now on Instagram says, "I can't spell it, but what do you think of pu'er from tea from China?" I'm sorry. Pu'er tea from China.
Who asked that question?
JTM Now.
Oh, I thought it was JNP. I was wondering how he was doing this.
No.
Multitasking.
Well, oolong is a deep subject.
Pu'er.
You're talking pu'er.
Pu'er, I'm sorry, is a very deep subject, and I have gotten no more than ankle deep. So I'm not the person to ask. I have had pu'ers that I absolutely loved, but I used to think that most pu'er was to be avoided. I'm not sure that my impression has greatly changed.
Well, you know, back in the days when there was a tea examiner, a U.S. tea examiner, part of the Food and Drug Administration, they would routinely confiscate pu'er because they felt it would kill somebody.
Well, that it was musty. And the law said they should not allow a musty tea through customs. So, of course, the Chinese love their pu'ers, and they spent a lot of effort to make it taste what he called musty. And the Chinese in San Francisco, where I lived, were never deprived of their pu'er.
They would sort of smuggle it in.
Well, somehow it arrived because there was plenty of it there.
But they could smell it with the dogs and all that. But I mean, pu'er is, there's white pu'ers, there's green pu'ers, there's all sorts of pu'ers, cooked, uncooked, shu, shang, and it is an alternate universe.
Yeah, and
it is a universe.
And there are no blanket statements that I've ever heard that cover all of the possibilities of pu'er.
Indeed.
It is perhaps the oldest kind of tea that is still made in China, where every kind of tea that's ever been invented is still available and still being produced.
Including matcha.
Well, that originated perhaps there. It did in the Song Dynasty, but the Japanese took it over and brought it to perfection.
Right. Another question, Al?
Yes. Era Bosun on Instagram says, "What are some of the flavors that you may experience with Taiwan Oolong? With Taiwan Oolongs, Sorry, I should have read this question.
I understand the question more or less.
Other than the other areas, or what?
As you put them through a Chinese tea ceremony. #no milk. I lost.
Right,
myself.
no milk. So, I mean, you can get lemon flavors, you can get creamy flavors. We get peachy flavors like they have in the Taiwanese oolong. You can get stone fruit flavors, depending upon that. That's generally we try to buy the greenish style, the lighter style. They do also sometimes finish it over charcoal, right, Norwood?
Oh, they did. That was traditionally
Still do,
the
yeah.
only way they did it.
Yep.
And the traditional way, it took 14 days to cure the leaf. And they had very strange baskets that would set over a charcoal fire. And it was shaped like it was narrow at the waist. And the tea was a good 2 feet above the heat source in the floor.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yep.
Alex, another one?
I think that pretty much.
Okay, well, Marcus, could you hand me that book?
Well,
We
also,
said-
wasn't there something else you wanted to give away?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Well, other than that,
Oh, we're giving away this, Isaac. We're giving away a couple of tins of the fanciest Formosa.
I highly
What else am I missing,
recommend.
John? Marcus? Oh, is that what that towel is? I thought we did that already.
The
We
towel.
did that last time.
I had to use another one for a photo. So.
Oh, and then we're also going to give away a beautiful towel. Although I might just give it to Valerie. And then,
Wait, no one saw that.
that's okay.
How is it okay?
That's for next year.
Yeah.
That also, Mike?
I don't know, John, is that also?
Nobody has enough tea towels.
Oh, we have a little teapot. I'll put in the same location. Hi, Ziggy. Corbell, you want to come over here?
Nice glass teapot.
And then we're going to give away a book called The Tea Leaf Reading.
Tea leaf reading.
There's nothing after tea leaf reading. So it stops right there. The reading is done.
All right, there it is. And this is a book that John Harney discovered in a bookshop. It had been long since out of print, and he suggested that I write an introduction and he print it. And this is the result. And I was very interested in tea leaf reading at the same time that John was, and we tried our hand at it. He was pretty good, but he had a better imagination than I did.
Did he predict that you would meet a lovely woman named Valerie?
He said that my love life was not over. That's right.
All right.
Did you sign it?
And this is such an amazing story. Where did you meet your wife?
I met her on board the Cunard liner, the Queen Elizabeth.
Mary or
crossing
Elizabeth.
the Atlantic, coming to this country. I was returning from Europe, but she was coming from Britain for her first visit to the States to visit her sister, and now we live next door to her sister, and Valerie and I met there. Valerie, I'll tell the truth. She kissed me first in the shadow of a lifeboat on the promenade deck.
That's shocking.
And I went to my cabin after we kissed goodnight and wrote her a poem, and that poem she seemed to remember because years later she'd been married.
decades later?
Yeah, that's right. But by God, she hunted me down and came and got me.
Poor dear.
He's one of those Michigan hunters we hear about. No? All right, well, that is a great story.
That is not the neighbor family who was just asking about the milk. It is?
Yeah, we're wrapping it up. Okay, we're going to wrap it up again. We have a couple of gifts. We have some tea. We have the book. We have the teapot and
And the tea towel.
the tea towel.
Can you sign this book also?
I can.
Yes, it's going to be a signed copy. Yeah. So thank you very much for this very special event today. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Marcus.
Thank you.
Sir.
My
Albert.
friends,
All right.
You,
Thank you.
my friend.
my friend.
So thank you, and thank you, John and Alex, for doing a good job. And don't forget Corabell.
Corabell, come.
And
Come to us. Come to us.
we hope
Quick, Corabell, you can run.